Hi, my name is Tanya. I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia about, almost 6 months ago, and I have ended up having quite a bit of hospital time. And I just thought I'd share a video to show, just give some tips and advice and things that I wish I'd known more at the beginning. And if you're watching this, I know that either you or someone you love is probably experiencing a really challenging time, and so I'm so sorry to hear that. And I just hope that something that I say in here and share in here will really help you guys out. Start a medical diary. It's something that I wish I had done as soon as all of this medical stuff started. Just in terms of being able to keep track of things. For me in particular, it was a whirlwind of a huge amount of information and tests, and all the days seemed to run into each other. And I found that when I actually did start to keep a hospital diary, it just made things calmer and enabled me to differentiate the days and what was going on and the different kinds of things that were happening. For me personally, having leukemia, I became quite obsessed with my blood results. So I would record my hemoglobin and platelets and neutrophils and all those kind of things, and that helped me just feel a little bit more informed and keep that I was keeping track of the process. So that's one thing that I found really helpful, even just in terms of the nurses and the staff that had come to see me. You're probably going to have lots of dietitians and specialists come to see you, and it just really, I found it really helpful just noting things down. I didn't necessarily go down the path of my feelings and emotions, which maybe I should have, but I just kept to the facts and what tests were happening and what was going on and who I saw and what happened, so that I could. And it was actually quite satisfying to, at the end of being able to look back and see how I had tracked. So hope that helps. Another thing I would highly recommend is a program called Gather My Crew. It's something that a couple of friends of mine set up for me, and it was just so helpful. So what it is that you can then invite people that you know and your friends and people that want to support you, and they then have a login and have the details. And then if there is something that you need help with, whether it's to cook a meal or to for babysitting, or hoping to get some things from the shop, or just anything like that, it's a really practical way of asking for help and people being able to provide that. So I was a massive fan of that. I don't think my husband used it once, but I used it for him. So when I was in hospital, he was looking after our little baby, and he found it difficult to ask for help and support and things like that. So it was a really cool way of people being able to support him and to care for our little girl and to provide meals. And it was just a really fantastic way of doing that. And you can do it in advance as well. You can do weekly things. So for him having a bike, being able to bike ride and exercise was really important. So just being able to do that was really fantastic. So I would highly recommend Gather My Crew, or anything like that enables people around you to be able to support you, because there are so many people that want to help, and and that's a really easy way of that being able to happen, and you can do that remotely, and I'd go for that. Another piece of advice I would give is, for anyone that knows they're going to be in there for a little while, is to decorate your room. I found that hugely helpful. My sister was amazing, and she printed out all of these photos of my family and friends, and then we kind of collated it and put it on the wall. And that was just fantastic to be able to have that, and to, especially at darker times and when you're going through a rough time, to be able to just really appreciate all these amazing people that are in your life and all the incredible things that you've done and places you've been as well. So I found that really helpful to be able to, look at that. And it was also a nice talking point, I suppose, for people coming in to be able to, just talk about people in your life that, just being able to put names to other people. And another thing would be to, artificial flowers. I know they sound daggy, but I had a couple of friends that brought them in, and they were so lovely. And it was just really great to have that, because obviously, being neutropenic, I wasn't able to have real flowers, so being able to have those ones was actually really lovely as well. I also had friends that did these beautiful posters and inspirational quotes and things like that, so I was able to frame them, so I was able to put them up on a little windowsill. Fairy lights, had my own lamp and bedside, a small little bedside lamp, cheap thing, but again, in the evening when you're getting obs and things, it's so much nicer to have that as opposed to the more garish lights that you can have. I'm trying to think what else I had. I had a quilt. I had a couple of beautiful quilts that I had made by my sister-in-law and a close friend, and that was just, again, something super simple but really lovely, because it just made it feel less like a hospital. And that was really good. And I didn't, with the photos, I would recommend putting it on a card, because I didn't initially, and I wish I had, because it ended up that I went to ICU, and I've always just felt so guilty that these nurses had, who already have so many demands in their time, came and had to take all of my decoration down. So in the end, what I did is I put them on I actually put them on a poster, so then I was able to take that down and put it up easily, and that actually helped with the next hospital visit as well. I just popped it straight up, and it was less time consuming and easier to do. So that was also something that was really helpful. Another thing that I would recommend is to try and give yourself some projects or things to do. And I say this knowing that a lot of people are not in a position where they can do that. I know, especially after my first hospital visit, or the first 2 hospital visits, I was in no way in a position to be able to even consider that. So I'm sorry if you're in that position, but I completely understand if you are, because I remember actually finding it quite difficult when I'd have people visit and asking, so what have you been doing, and asking about if I've had projects and things like that, and I was just baffled, and I thought, are you kidding me? Like, I'm here because I'm really unwell and I'm trying to get better. So I found that really frustrating initially, and got me a little bit upset to think that people thought I was just having an abundance of free time. But I guess after my other 2 hospital visits, I realised that there's a massive range. Like, you can have hospital stays where you're still there for a long time, but you actually do have the ability to do little projects. And the first 2 times I definitely wasn't in that position, and whereas actually the last 3 times I was. So I did different projects. I did 2 photo books. So I did one for my wedding and one for my little girl, who at the time was just 4 months old. So I decided to do this photo book for her for the first few months of her life, and that was really lovely. And then I then started to learn to cross stitch. I would not recommend that one, because that was quite intense and involved a lot of concentration, which I found quite exhausting. I just think it is a really lovely thing if there's some kind of project that you can do that you can help with that.